If you're familiar with Skyrim's Dark Brotherhood questline, then you know there's a good bit of fun to be had when you side with Astrid and join her guild of assassins, like getting into some interesting scenarios, and doing the bidding of an evil cult. But, if you wanted to be a good person, you probably decided to...
Well done.
However, you can't just leave the rest of the Brotherhood roaming free, so the next step is to go take care of them too. Unfortunately, this choice, also known as destroying the Dark Brotherhood, is very lackluster as is and leaves a lot to be desired. When you make the decision to, quote, destroy the Dark Brotherhood, the following quests consist of talking to Commander Morrow, who conveniently knows the Sanctuary's password, and then going to the Sanctuary to end everyone inside. Worst of all, you only get a measly 3,000 gold for your troubles. But there is hope. Thanks to Roadhouse 699 and their new mod Unfaltered Virtue, a Penitus Oculatus story, you'll be able to go on a much more inspired journey on your quest to tear the Dark Brotherhood down. And even after that, there may be an opportunity for further employment within the ranks of the elite Imperial unit. What this mod does is completely revamp not only the Destroy the Dark Brotherhood questline, but brings new life to the representation of the Penitus Oculatus in Skyrim, adding a number of main and side quests to track the Brotherhood across Skyrim and obtain their sanctuary's password, as well as even more main, side, and radiant quests to go on as you try to dissolve the conflict between the Penitus Oculatus and another group that poses a threat to Skyrim. This mod also includes a new follower, nearly 1,500 lines of dialogue, and built-in integration for the improved follower dialogue Lydia mod. To start, make your way through the beginning steps of the vanilla Dark Brotherhood questline like you would on a normal playthrough. Talk to Aventus, kill the evil orphanage lady only to be rewarded with a plate, and find a nice place to rest your head for a while so you could be kidnapped in your sleep. When you wake up, you'll be in a scary cabin, and all you have to do from here is kill Astrid while she's yapping about how you stole her kill. Under normal circumstances, that'll begin the quest, Destroy the Dark Brotherhood. Instead, it starts in Offer Rejected. Take the Blade of Woe from Astrid's body and go find a guard to report her death. The guard will send you to Commander Morrow in Dragonbridge, and he's pleasantly surprised with the news. After being invited to join the cause, you'll be sent to Markarth to find a woman named Muiri who's been performing the Black Sacrament. Find Muiri at the Hag's Cure, and explain to her that you're working with Imperial authorities. You'll need to use some intimidation, but eventually she'll tell you that she requested the Brotherhood's help to take out Elaine Dufont, her ex-partner and leader of a bandit group. Since, after all, he is a criminal, you can decide to take him out for Muiri, but also have her send the Brotherhood's assassin to, as they say, kill two birds with one stone. Head over to the bandit camp and kill Elaine as well as the rest of his colleagues. Now that one of the birds has been killed, you can take your stone and move on to the real reason you traveled all this way, to take out the second assassin of the Dark Brotherhood. Exiting the bandit hideout, you'll come face to face with Gabriella, who tells you the Brotherhood isn't happy with the stealing of their contracts. Even if you choose to tell Gabriella what's to come, she decides to pursue the fight anyway, but you can deal with her fairly easily. On Gabriella's body is a note from Nazir, stating that they've got a new member of their family at the sanctuary, and to quote, mind the jester. When you return to Muiri, she'll thank and pay you. Then you can make your way back to Dragonbridge to report to Commander Morrow. He'll also pay you and proceed to read the note. Then he'll send you to ask some innkeepers if they know anything about a jester. In Whiterun, Hulda will tell you about some farmers up the road who recently mentioned a jester. At Lorius Farm, you'll learn the jester's name is Cicero, and that he had a coffin with him, supposedly carrying his mother. Take this information back to Morrow, and he'll confirm that there is somebody's mother in that coffin, the Night Mother. From here, you'll have to save the lives of 3 Brotherhood targets named Hearn, Anodius Papius, and Narfi. At Hearn's home in Half Moon Mill, you'll come across a suspicious wandering bard, and it just so happens that he's an undercover assassin for the Brotherhood.
Don't do that.
Heading over to Anodius Papias' campsite near Anga's mill, you'll find that this assassin was much more forward with his attack. Lastly, in Iverstead, you can see that Narfi has already been contacted by the Brotherhood. Next to his body is a girl named Babette, who frames you for Narfi's murder to a guard. When you wake up at the luxurious Mistvale Keep, Babette will be with you in your cell. Turns out she was also arrested after the guard noticed her vampire eyes. She'll tell you that she did vampire stuff to you, and then you both escape through a secret passage in the wall. Back in Dragonbridge, Commander Morrow is discussing strategies with Sabile, the court wizard of the Blue Palace. You show up with Babette, and the commander questions her about the Night Mother's return as well as the Brotherhood's current contracts. After Morrow lies about capturing Cicero to make her talk, she confirms the Night Mother has returned and says the Brotherhood is plotting to assassinate the Emperor. At the end of the conversation, you're given a choice to kill, banish, imprison, or send Babette off to get cured. Your choice doesn't hold much value here, as you don't actually see any of the options happen, so you can choose whatever sounds the best to you. But if you want to ensure the complete destruction of the Dark Brotherhood, you can have her ended. When Babette and Sabile leave, Morrow tells you there's 2 jobs that need doing, and he'll take care of the one you don't choose. The first job is to kill the captain of the Red Wave, Safia, and any Brotherhood assassin who might have been sent her way. Alternatively, you can choose to assist Morrow's son Gaius in Riften while he investigates the Blackbriar family. I recommend the second option, as it has a little more depth to it and provides your first glimpse at the Thalmor's role in this story. You'll meet Gaius at the Bee and Barb, and he'll have you steal documents from Maven Blackbriar, revealing her connection to Elenwen, the first emissary of the Thalmor. Commander Morrow's next task for you is to provide security at the Emperor's cousin, Vittoria Vici's wedding in Solitude. You can take a seat and enjoy the moment for a bit before noticing a disturbance on the upper balcony of the castle. Head up there, and after some searching, you'll find Dark Brotherhood assassin Vizara. He didn't seem like he wanted to fight here, but if we let him go, he may only come back stronger. Morrow congratulates you on a job well done before letting you know the Emperor will be traveling to Skyrim. He then says that some people living in Dawnstar noticed a strange door right outside the town that looks identical to the one found on an abandoned sanctuary a few years back. But since nobody knows the password, you'll have to make good use of the fact that Dawnstar is a mining town, and try to break through the sanctuary walls from inside the mines. When you get to Dawnstar, meet with Betild, the woman who runs the mine near the sanctuary. After asking nicely with 500 gold, she agrees to have a new branch mine towards the sanctuary. Inside, you'll come across a number of guardians that don't pose much of a threat. You don't find much on the Brotherhood, but learn that they're definitely conducting their operations from somewhere else. Your next mission will take you to Whiterun with Gaius to meet the head of security, Commander Caius. However, mid-conversation, Nazir sneak attacks Gaius and kills him.
Must have scared them all.
On Nazir's body is a note from someone named Festus, stating that Nazir has to track down and kill you and Gaius before you can kill any more members of the Brotherhood. Unfortunately for them, they happen to kill the much weaker half of your pair and only make things worse for themselves. When you inform Commander Morrow about Gaius' death, he'll be very briefly angered before telling you that they located the Black Door in Falkreath and all they need now is the password. Morrow then sends you after Arnbjorn, who was sent by the Brotherhood to kill the Gourmet. At the Nightgate Inn, you'll find that it's too late for the Gourmet, and Arnbjorn approaches from the shadows, ready for a fight. What? I said he was ready for a fight. I didn't say he was gonna get one. Now that he's dealt with, you can catch Festus in Solitude right before he escapes. And after raining on his parade by telling him the Emperor he killed was a decoy, he just decides to tell us the password to the sanctuary.
Silence, my brother.
Thanks. Leave Solitude, meet Commander Morrow at the Falkreath Sanctuary, and use the correct password to enter. It seems completely empty inside, but after realizing out of all the people you've killed on this journey, a jester was never one of them. Turn around to face Cicero, and defeat him like you did the rest of his comrades. When you read the letter on his body, you'll see that he was tasked with ambushing us. Morrow takes you up to where the Night Mother is being kept, and tells you that he hasn't been completely honest, telling you the Emperor actually ordered his own assassination, and now you're one of only 4 people who know. You can question the decision, and Morrow will explain the Emperor's plan in full.
His Eminence is a great warrior, an even better strategist. He's also an honorable and cordial man. Not what you'd expect from a monarch. But he's horrendously unpopular for signing the Concordant. Half of Tamriel thinks he's a coward. Hell, I was just as angry as everyone else when I first heard the terms. The provinces of men need a new leader. Stepping down or committing suicide would defeat the purpose of what we're trying to do. So, we had a trusted advisor from the Elder Council, Amon Motier, hire the Brotherhood to kill him in what would look like a standard power grab.
Morrow then tells you that you'd be the perfect candidate to carry out this contract, since you just slaughtered the entire Brotherhood. When you agree, Morrow asks that you don't kill any of his men aboard the ship, and sends you off with a paralyzed spell tome and a handful of invisibility potions. Now you have to make your way through the Catarrhia, being sure not to kill any of the guards between the entrance and the Emperor's quarters. When you get there, he'll recognize you instantly as Commander Morrow's protege, and before you strike the killing blow, he requests one thing.
One last thing. I am worried about the 4th architect of our plot not keeping it hidden. I need you to kill him. Call it an old man's dying wish, shall we say.
Back on shore, Commander Morrow says yes to kill you, as it was the Emperor's last order. He tries, miserably, but you can help him up, and the 2 of you realize what has to be done. It's time to kill Amon Motier. Head back to Whiterun and find him in his hiding spot in the back room of the Bannered Mare. He'll give you a necklace and the location of the rest of the reward. However, the treasure wasn't the only reason you paid Motier a visit.
But we had a deal.
After grabbing the loot, return to Morrow to discuss what to do with the Night Mother. He decides that she should be sanctified by a priest of Arkay. So, now you have to head into Falkreath and recruit the help of Erland Nilari, who follows you into the sanctuary and up to the Night Mother's coffin. But as he's performing the sanctification, the Night Mother's shade animates right in front of you to take her last stand. The priest acknowledges that his job is done and pieces out. Can't blame the guy. Now with the Dark Brotherhood fully eradicated, the Emperor and Amon Motier both completely out of the picture, and the Night Mother being prepared to be shipped back to Morrowind, return to Commander Morrow one last time, where you'll complete your quest and unlock him as a new follower. Wait, did you think you were done here? Yeah, the Dark Brotherhood has been taken care of, but the work of the Penitus Oculatus isn't quite finished yet. Now, you have to shift your focus to the Thalmor. To begin what I like to call Act 2 of this mod, you have to return back to the Falkreath Sanctuary that's now been fully converted to a Penitus Oculatus outpost and meet Avita, Commander Morrow's replacement for Gaius. She'll brief you on the updated priorities involving the Thalmor, and you can learn more about Avita through further dialogue. But if you just want to get straight to business, you can ask her what action needs to be taken to handle the threat. From here, she could send you on one of 5 different Radiant quests that pay fairly well and get you closer to defeating the Thalmor. The first mission type is called Aggressive Negotiations, where you track down and kill a Thalmor Justiciar without being caught. The next Radiant quest is called Follow the Money, where you search someone's house for correspondence with the Dominion. The third type of Radiant quest is Ambush, where you track down a Thalmor patrol and take them out before they get where they're going. The last 2 I wasn't able to get footage of, but one is called Counter-Espionage, where you kill a Thalmor spy in a Stormcloak city, and the other is called Force Multiplier, where you clear a Thalmor base with a group of Nord fighters. After completing a number of these assignments, you could bring Avita documents from the bodies of the Thalmor agents you've killed to receive a reward of 150 gold. After bringing her 5 total documents, speak to Commander Morrow to get started on the next main quest. During the conversation, Morrow tells you that because of the information you've collected, he was able to draw up a plan to attack the Dominion's main way station called Bleakgate Isle. Attacking the fort will significantly weaken the Thalmor, but Commander Morrow's reasoning is a bit more personal. The garrison commander, Inquisitor Mericanil, played a large role in Lord Narafin's attack on the Imperial City and also killed Morrow's wife. To get ready for the siege of Bleakgate, you'll have to assemble a force large enough to take them on, starting with Lydia, who doesn't really have a say in helping or not, and moving on to Windhelm to recruit some Stormcloak mercenaries who have a history with the Dominion anyway. Returning to the outpost with your newly recruited fighters, you can begin to plan your attack. There are multiple options to choose from here, from sending the Nord mercenaries to lead the frontal assault while the Imperials attack from a side door, to splitting the forces 3 ways and attacking from a rear entrance with Lydia and Morrow while the other squads lead assaults of their own, to even being able to lead the frontal assault with all the forces combined. I personally believe that the third option is the way to go, but once you've made your decision, the siege of Bleakgate Isle is underway. After a long and intense battle, you reach Mericanil's location at the heart of the fort, accompanied by Lydia and Commander Morrow. Once Mericanil is defeated and surrenders, you can let Morrow finish him off, or alternatively, you can talk Morrow down and help him understand that killing him wouldn't be the only form of justice. If you choose this option, you just hand Mericanil off to Ivar and the Stormcloaks. But, if you were in Morrow's position, you might be tempted to handle this the first way. Keep in mind though, killing Mericanil here will alter the way the rest of your story pans out. When you return to Morrow at the outpost, he tells you that you have to go find out what Mericanil revealed during the interrogation. So, you head back to Windhelm, only to learn from a jailer that Ivar was captured. Ivar's friend Surla says he was captured by bandits at their fort. When you go clear the fort and save Ivar, he's able to tell you everything he learned during the interrogation.
That's sensitive information, but I suppose I can trust you of all people. You're in luck too. I helped interrogate him. The elves haven't been able to reproduce fast enough to recover from their losses in the Great War. What with their low fertility and selective breeding. At one point, they tried to give Malachite weapons and armor to all their soldiers, only to run short on funds, and had to slightly shrink their force size as a result. They know the Empire's working against them, but they're not in a position to do anything about it. They think Ulfric is an asset to them, since he's diverting the Empire's attention. Might be forgetting how many Justiciars we've killed. Ultimately, they want to conquer both Skyrim and Cyrodiil, but will likely have to do that piecemeal because of resource constraints. They say they'll attack Skyrim if we win the war. Preventing Talos worship is a major concern of theirs. Lastly, Skyrim doesn't stand alone. They've lost at least one Justiciar to a resistance movement in Cyrodiil. That's all I can remember off the top of my head.
There's also an alternate route you could take here where you break into Windhelm's jail under the Hall of Kings and talk directly to Mericanil yourself. Here's what that looks like.
Huh. Is that what this is? You want information? By the sun, even locked up I have leverage over you. Of course we do. Is this an interrogation, or me teaching you the basic politics of Tamriel? We are coming for Skyrim, and for Cyrodiil. It may take 1, 2 centuries, but that is no time at all for us. We'll outlast you all, and you'll thank us when we've liberated you from your pathetic squalor. Oriel have mercy, you're the worst interrogator I've ever heard of. Have you spoken to a single one of the officers in Solitude? They hate us more than the Stormcloaks. There are agents in our own provinces trying to disrupt our operations, and in their own lands protecting them from us doing the same. We've lost Justicars in Cyrodiil, just as we have here in Skyrim. Ah, the Emperor's guards and our biggest rival. Though recently it seems they've been so distracted fighting us, they forgot the chief duty. I wish it had been us who ordered that assassination. But alas.
Now it's time to go back to Morrow and tell him what you've learned. To begin the next quest, you return yet again to Windhelm, but this time when you enter, you'll be greeted with a fight. Make your way up the main path and help Ivar fight off the Thalmor that are attacking him. After you save him, he'll tell you that Marikino was broken out of jail, but Ivar quickly comes up with a plan to recapture him. All you have to do is go with him to ask an old acquaintance, Arya, for help. She agrees, letting you use her ship and crew to intercept Marikino and foil his escape. When you board his ship and kill the Thalmor defending him, you can defeat Marikino in battle once again and take him back into custody. 24 hours later, a courier will find you and deliver a letter from Ivar, stating that the Thalmor have requested a prisoner trade for Marikino since their previous plan didn't work. He asks you to meet him and Arya in Whiterun. When you get there, you'll find them waiting for the Thalmor to show up. Here is where you could choose to either stay for the negotiations or leave and talk to Marikino one more time in the Dragon's Reach dungeon. And choosing the second option actually leads to a very interesting conversation.
Oh, this should prove interesting. Go piss up a rope. Your two-bit tricks won't work on me, wretch. I don't think you would understand. You know how our world came to be, yes? How Lorcan tricked the Aedra into creating Mundus. Many Altmer wish that never happened. All of us, men and mer, were once immortal, and we were robbed. There are those among the Thalmor leadership who wish to undo this mistake. I don't agree. I find our existence beautiful. Have you seen Eleanor? It's a paradise, even after it's been destroyed time and time again. The mortal world is imperfect, but its radiance and order always prevail against the forces of evil. I think it's worth continuing that preservation. Because I find humans repugnant. When Tiber Septim conquered my homeland, my people were murdered, raped, burglarized, and mutilated by the thousands. And what did the humans do? They didn't just hail him as a hero or a great leader. They revered him as a god. The Septim conquests may be ancient history in Cyrodiil and Skyrim. It was less than 2 Altmer lifetimes ago. My grandparents lived through it. They call us arrogant, and yet they worship the man who defiled our civilization. Ally isn't a word I would use. Asset is better. Precisely. Nearly everything relied on Bleakgate, so not anymore. It's been a pleasure.
When you go back to Ivar, he tells you that the negotiations have been completed, and the Stormcloaks got 15 prisoners in return for Marikino. Alternatively, if you stick around for the negotiations, the Thalmor emissary Kena will offer 15,000 septims for Marikino's release. But you can decline this offer and arrange for 30 prisoners to be released instead of the money. Either way, after you make your decision, simply talk to Arya and your journey will be completed. For now. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you could leave a like and subscribe. I create modding content frequently, and I have a lot of great video ideas I'd like for you to see. And if you found this mod interesting, I highly recommend that you download it for yourself to experience this story and all the content it has to offer. What I showed in this video was the path I took my story on, but player choice plays a huge role in this mod, so the outcome of my story may be different from yours. Keep in mind though that at the time of recording and uploading this video, there are still various fixes and updates on the way for this mod. You can find the link to the mod page as well as the link to the creator's profile in the description below to show your support. And with all that being said, thank you for watching and peace out.